What is up, my cat bitches? It is myself, the queen of cat bitches, and I wanted to make this video because I feel like this video needs to be made right now. In case you were unaware, yesterday a video was posted by Jacqueline Glenn and Ariel Scarcella where they basically said for an entire 10 minutes that because they didn't believe in more than two genders, that there are only two genders. And this made me and a lot of other people not so happy. I definitely, when I was younger, I turned to other YouTubers who I could relate to feel accepted and valid, and I feel like if I was someone yesterday who needed someone to turn to and I turned to Ariel or Jacqueline, I would feel extremely invalidated. I know I am a cis person, but that is not to say that I would feel in the slightest offended. I think I'm offended now. I would be offended no matter who I was. It's just offensive to see two people who are very like, they say they are both accepting in the LGBTQ+ community, and it just, this feels like they're saying otherwise. So what I did was I wrote down a few quotes from the video, and I thought I would talk about them and counter them with some science and factual evidence, because in their video, they definitely, a lot of the time, said, I don't know much about this, but, and I think what's kind of stupid about that is why would you put a video on the internet for potentially billions of people to see, even though that probably won't happen, but potentially billions of people to see, and think it's okay to belittle other people just because you don't agree with them. I know that this was probably anyone who was not in the LGBT+ community, that it would be more of an understanding thing, but because Ariel Scarcella is definitely lesbian, it makes me wonder, just like a few other things. Anyways, I just think I would like to counter their thoughts with some arguments that is real. This is not to say that I am a scientist or anything along the lines of someone extremely educated in this topic, but I did do research and I definitely care about this a lot, specifically because I just am really interested in it. I've taken classes on this. I actually just was in a class the other day in anthropology where we talked about this for like an hour and a half, and I just want to talk about it. Anyway, I'm going to just read the first quote and then we'll talk about it a little bit. Sounds good? Okay, cool. The first quote is from Jacqueline Glenn. She says, I'm very open-minded on my channel about gender expression, different sexualities, things like that. But whenever it comes to gender, I feel like scientifically there are two. To basically just let you feel something out real quick for yourself. I wrote down, this is my cited source from the International Journal of Transgenderism. In a chapter called Sex and Gender, they specifically divide the two terms and break it down for you. Sex is the anatomy of one's reproductive system and secondary characteristics. If you are not aware, it's like these, and then like the other thing that you have that differs from like boy to girl. There's a few of those, but like you know which one I'm talking about. And then gender is social roles based on sex or personal identification of one's own gender. Something I learned in anthropology class very recently is that gender is a word that before the years of like the 1950s, before that time, they used that word. So basically it was just meant kind, and before that it was like something to differentiate social classes and stuff like that. But in the 1950s, in 1955, I think his name is John Money or something like that. I could be wrong. I think it's John Money. He basically wrote something about gender roles, and gender, that word became more of a social construct. So no longer is it meaning kind or social class, but social construct. Definitions are not only changing every day, but so is the world around us, and you kind of just need to take that into consideration when you are doing research or just learning things in general. The next quote I have is from Ariel. It says, I interviewed a transgender woman who was in her 50s, and she just started transitioning male to female, and she said she identified as genderqueer. What that really means is that she is more of a tomboy. Oof. This makes me mad, okay? Because not only are you invalidating her identity, but at the same time, you're also giving her a new one. Wow, cool. Genderqueer, I actually wrote down the definition for that too. Genderqueer is defined as an umbrella term for people who identify as outside of, not included within, or beyond the binary of male and female. So that is what genderqueer means. If you didn't know, now you know, and there you go. That was a lot of rhyming. Wow! Ariel also said that being a non-binary gender or genderqueer is the easy way out. And I think this is how you really understand that they don't understand. Because being two cis women, it messes me up to think that people, because they are one way, can't even begin to comprehend the thoughts of another person's life. I don't know how to describe that in any other way. It's not an easy way out. That's like saying suicide's the easy way out. There's no easy way about it. There's no easy way about being someone who's different. There's no easy way about being queer or gay or anything. Just like, there's no easy way to deal with something you don't feel welcomed with. There's no easy way. There's no easy way out. There's no easy way to do anything in this world, I don't think. It just breaks my heart to know I have friends who this affected. I have people in my life I care about who definitely need more validation. I was in a group chat yesterday talking to people about how we need better representation in the LGBTQ community. And this is not the representation we need. Our own people putting each other down in a sense. Like, what the heck? Jacqueline brought up something that I completely agree with. Call everyone they. My English professor also agreed that within the next 10 or 15 years, everyone will be referred to as they rather than he, she, him, her, and we will just use general pronouns. Them, their, they. I think that is a great idea. I think it's a good idea to validate people. I think also assuming someone's gender is something that I have been learning not to do. If I see someone and I'm like, wow, that person's cute or something, I'll be like, look how cute they are. Not like, look how cute she is or look how cute he is. It's easy. It's an easy change. It's an easy fix. It's an easy adjustment. It's not going to be hard for you. If you decide that this is something that would benefit the people around you, do it. I've been doing it. It hasn't hurt anyone, I don't think. And I think it lets people know how it might not let people know that you are caring about their comfort, but like do it anyways, because like it'll definitely make people comfortable if you don't call them by the wrong pronoun. You know what I mean? And if that's the pronoun they go by, it'll make them even happier, so like just do it. Ariel brought up the idea that this is for people specifically under the age of 25. I don't think she's wrong, but I don't think that's to say people under the age of 25 feel a lot more free than people over the age of 25 do. People over the age of 25 live the majority of their life not having gay marriage legal in all of America. Like, up until 2 years ago, 1 year ago, it wasn't legal in all 50 states, and now it is. So the younger generation of today is growing up with more freedom, more ability to accept one another, I believe, from personal experience, I guess. I think the reason you see with people under the age of 25 is because people over the age of 25 are either afraid that how they feel won't be accepted by the people around them because of their age, or that like they still don't know it's a thing because we are under 25 and it's invalid in a sense. What I'm going to do now is read some comments that I found on the video and just react to those a little bit because I feel like some of them it's worth it, you know? Okay, this comment says, do you see any effing unbinary effing zebras getting chased by any effing unbinary effing lions? No, we invented this shit with our massive and powerful brains. Feels like a waste of brain power if you ask me. Because we're people? who are the most intelligent, probably, maybe so, life form on Earth. But I also believe that having such knowledge and brain power should allow us to be more free, to be more allowing, more accepting, more thoughtful, more real. I think we're entitled to justification that we are valid. I think there's just so many things to think, I think. This one says, I hope this non-binary gender term thing dies out. It really is nonsense in the scope of the human race. I would venture to assume the person that posted this comment is a cis human being and would not have suffered the way that people who are trans have suffered, and who are non-binary have suffered, and who are genderqueer have suffered. These people are not, they don't choose it. You don't choose. You can choose to change your gender, but you can't choose to change your brain. It's just the way it is. And you probably wouldn't understand that unless you've had to go through it. And I know I haven't had to go through it, but I know I've had to go through something mildly similar. And the last comment I wanted to read before ending this video was, I identify as a mentally stable human being. Therefore, I am either male or female. I'm male, by the way. Gender is not a spectrum. There are only two, male and female. I think to say someone is not mentally stable because of the way they identify is probably one of the worst things I've ever heard in all of my life, because that is to say someone who's cis, someone who is straight, someone who is basically superior to everyone else, not a minority, not hated by anyone. I think it's just easy enough to assume that we don't know as much about each other as we think we do. And I think that goes for Ariel and Jacqueline here too. Because you haven't lived through it, you don't understand what people who have lived through it have to go through. And you might not know how bad it is. And I hope you never do, because it's not fun and it's not good. And no matter how this world treats you, and how you feel, and if you feel invalid, and if you feel like no one can love you, or you can't love others, and that's because of the way your brain works, I hope you know you're real and you're valid, and everything you feel is real. Everything you feel is valid. Everything you feel is something someone else has felt too. And if you want to talk to me about this, go ahead. DM me on Twitter, and I would love to talk about this with any of you. Leave it in the comments below if you so desire to. You can talk amongst yourselves, and I will also be there. I just hope this didn't come off in any way that would offend someone. That was not my goal whatsoever in this video, but I do hope it brought some light into the situation, because that was what I wanted to do. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't have thumbs, use a different finger, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.